All right, so this Triple Threat podcast is exciting. Alex, unfortunately, is not here. He is in the middle of a move to Toronto. Actually, his wheels up this morning. But the good news is that I applied for a dubstep license for our music, so let's see if that worked. All right, our license was rejected, so we still have our old music. That's a little bit disheartening, but I don't know. I guess that guy wasn't really a dubstep licensing salesman.
A few of them are. So many people get hosed by the fake dubstep licensing salesman. You need a license to dubstep. I did not know that. But I actually appreciate responsible dubstepping.
You might not need one. I was just taken in.
Right? Yeah.
That's very possible.
But you appreciated it for the same reasons I did. You're like, good, that's very responsible. That's a wonderful...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have to license this. Can't just be anybody out there doing their thing.
Yeah, what, are you crazy out of your mind?
Yeah. I had someone text me this week, and they were like, man, I felt so alone listening to the podcast this week.
Oh, really?
They felt the emptiness and loneliness of our isolated audio tracks.
It was very bare. It was just each of us just saying some stuff. And not saying it to anybody in particular. It was just, yeah.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I think I mentioned during the show, it was weird for me because I'm like, wow, how do they do this? How do they just keep talking? Just, about stuff without anybody to bounce, have a conversation with, bounce words off of.
Yeah.
I wanted to have somebody join me, but I just couldn't find anybody. I might get joined by a cat here soon, a cat or two.
Little kitty. I'm enjoying the little kitty amount that's happening in our lives now.
There he is. He's crying.
Oh.
He's going to miss me.
So did you settle on a name for that one?
No, not yet. I just call him Little Mick right now.
Little Mick might just stick.
He's little Micheletto, so I'm just going to open my door.
Oh, okay. So Will's stepping away to help a cat get through a door. An honorable thing to do.
There, I open my door. Matt, you corrected. Oh, there he is. Oh, and there's Sadie too.
Hey, Sadie.
Here they all are. You corrected me.
Oh.
There we go. Live audio.
I love it.
Live kitten audio.
The cat looks to be a little bit not happy with being on the podcast, displeased.
Yeah, he was supposed to be my guest last week.
So Sadie's the big cat.
You see her in the background trying.
Yeah, I do see her. They don't, but I do. What's Sadie think of this little guy?
She's trepidatious so far.
Okay,
you may or may not see an encounter here.
Okay,
she's she's fine. She took a swing at him one time.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're kind of in my grill, a little bit in my neighborhood.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, okay. I mean, they'll be. Oh, there she goes. They'll be buddies. You're gonna be a buddy. You're gonna be a buddy. Yeah, they'll be friends.
That's good.
I want to actually hear his side of it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Tiniest little kitty voice.
It's just really small. She or he?
It's a he.
It's a little dude. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. It's a little dude. So she's I brought her out to see each other.
Yeah.
And she hissed at him, and he gave her a tiny hiss right back.
Oh.
She was like, and he's like,
he's like, I got what I got.
He's like, I got claws.
I can do what I can. It reminds me. I saw a video yesterday of it was like a lion family, so it was like dad lion, mom lion, and like a bunch of kids. And so
like
it was
pride, right? Or like a family.
Yeah,
because a pride is like the whole group, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But so it was like on a safari. So the truck who was videotaping is that's such a
recording it.
Yeah, like the dad lion had these deep sometimes you hear a noise that an animal makes, and you're like, "Ooh, I could not have imagined or created that noise." It's so unique to nature. And so
he's screaming goats.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So he's like got this deep, like I don't know, this his ancestry is coming out of the growl. And and he's got 4 kittens with him, and they're like, rah, rah, they're doing what they can also to the best of their ability.
It's like when you see a little puppy howling.
Yes.
Trying to howl like a wolf. a little wolf puppy.
Yeah, you're like I could do that.
Yeah, it's like one day, not now, sir, but one day you'll be able to show how the moon lived with the best of them, right?
Yeah, I feel like it took you too long to get another cat.
You think so?
You were yeah. This seems like such a good fit for you. You've always liked cats. I feel like it just seems right to me.
Well, I love little kitters. Yeah. But to be fair, this isn't neither of them are mine. They're my roommates.
Right. Okay, that's true. I mean, there's a little bit of connection with Mick there, though.
Oh yeah.
I think you got a little bit of ownership there, which is fine.
That's fine, right? Well, she's it's great. It's like when your friends have a baby and you're like, oh, he's so cute. You hold him and he's cooing and then when he starts crying, you're like, hey, cool, not mine.
Yeah, push
not
him
my
away.
kid. You throw him down.
Yeah,
threw it on the ground. No, you just give him back, and the parents got to take care of the diaper and the feeding and all that stuff.
Yeah. How is a little mixed diaper right now? Full, in need of a change. What are you thinking?
He's probably I don't know. He just ate, so he's probably full right now. But he's got it. So we keep him in their bathroom. That's where they keep him. He's got his little kitty carrier and his. By the way, he's going for the earphone cords right now. He's he paws at everything, and he has his little litter box in there, and he had tiniest little poops in there. This made me laugh. Makes you laugh just thinking about it. And tiny little kitten poops.
You're like, you think that's the best you could do.
He's very hungry. He was voracious today. He was screaming at me.
Oh yeah,
angrily, hey.
He's new. He's got to grow.
He's got a lot of growing to do. But yeah, Elise, we all moved in, and we moved into this place because of Sadie, basically.
Yeah.
Because we needed an apartment that was cat friendly, and Vancouver has a thing where I don't know if it's the same in Halifax, but a lot of apartments don't allow animals, cats. But lots of people have dogs and that sort of thing, especially in Yaletown. They got little, tiny little, little Yaletown yappy dogs, right?
Yeah.
In our old apartment, everybody on the floor, our two neighbors on our floor had two dogs each. So you can have animals in that building, just not in that apartment. But it's hard to find an apartment that allows cats. So that's why we moved here, and we brought Sadie in, and then Elise wanted to get a friend for Sadie. This is why we got little Mick, is because we're not trying to replace Sadie, we're just trying to get her a little friend, because Sadie grew up in a house with 5 cats and a dog, so she's used to having other animals around, so we decided to get she wanted to adopt an orange cat. And last week, she's sent me a text. She's like, I didn't have time to tell you, but I wanted to adopt this little guy, only if, we're all okay with it. What do you guys think? And, me and Zach are like, yeah, of course. Come on. What are you, crazy out of your mind? Of course you want to see this little guy. So, yeah, she paid for the adoption fee. She pays for the food. She takes care of the litter box. And all I got to do is just, chill with him from time to time and play with him. He's very playful. He likes playing with all of Sadie's toys.
There you go. That's
which is good. It's a good fit, yeah. I just gotta, he's going inside and underneath things.
Remember, I don't think we've talked too much about Snowball. Snowball was your cat that you had for a little while, I guess.
Yeah,
not long enough, sadly. But Snowball used to going up into vents, the air vents.
Snowball.
The world was his playground.
Snowball was very. He was very this guy's a lot more chill.
Yeah.
Mick is a lot more chilled out than Snowball was, but Snowball would. Do you remember the little in the under our tall kitchen cupboard? We had a little hole,
very small hole.
You know what I mean? Like a mouse, really a mouse-sized hole, and he would try to climb in there. And
I would think it would be hard for you with your current hand size to put it in very far if you made a fist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be very tough. So just to give people perspective, if you know Will's hands. That is how big the hole is.
That's right. Those Shaq basketballs you could get with the big handprint on it. It's something like that.
The Shaq basketballs with the handprints and the Wilson volleyballs with the Wilson face print on. One of the weirdest marketing promotions, for a movie. It's almost like the culture just kind of took it over with the Wilson volleyball.
Was the Wilson volleyball?
Was the red on his face blood?
Yeah, he was bleeding and he touched it and.
That's weird too. The kids are like, I want the volleyball with the hairy man's blood on it.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. That's what made the face. It was pretty creative. But I think, and now that I think about it, I think the blood would. What's that? No, I think the blood would wash off rather easily, right? I know Wilson floats away at some point.
Yeah, I wouldn't know if it stains or not.
I don't think like blood would like stick on a like a rubber ball. I don't think it would.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But I don't know a lot. It's like a zoo in here right now, by the way. Sorry.
A 2-cat zoo.
A two cat zoo. I just gotta open up this window for Sades.
That's fine. So Will can't hear me right now. So whatever I get to say whatever I want. So I can see Will. He's patting the cat. The cat seems to be responding well to him. Will has a little bit of a cat whisperer sort of thing going on. It's really good. And he's coming back. And here he is. Perfect. Will is back.
Yeah, I just had to open up my blinds for Sadie. She likes to sit on the windowsill and look out the window. I think she was an outdoor cat, and she's not now.
Tough transition.
Yeah, we're on the bottom. We're on the ground floor. We got a nice big patio, but she can still like jump out of it.
Right.
We got a harness for her that she's obviously not really taking to.
Yeah, cats in harnesses, it doesn't fit very well.
No, I did see a woman last week walking a cat, like on a leash.
Yeah, very unnatural arrangement.
Yeah, but it was like a kind of a weirder older lady, so she can tell she's like, oh, me and Mittens take walks every night, and he's very friendly, he likes to sniff you and all that stuff.
So how close do you feel to being a weirder older lady?
How close do I feel?
Yeah, because, you got the cat. There's talk of a harness. You're halfway there to being a weird old lady.
Mm-hmm.
So you say.
That's weird. I think Elise just came home.
Oh, there you go. So that was cat talk.
Well, I think there's going to be more cat talk coming, but
okay, that's good. Like in this moment,
a little bit. Well, Sadie just saw it through the window. She just sprinted.
Oh,
saw Sadie just sprint out there. See your friend.
Will is treating his cats the way some people talk about their kids. It's a very similar thing there.
I know. Yeah.
So Will, let's not move off of you. I got to ask, how was the first Rookie League last week? It was a week ago yesterday.
About a week ago. It went well.
Rookie League is Will's the improv group that he's in right now.
So yes, I had the first Rookie League show, the first experience being up for the Rookie League, and the way did I explain the format?
A little bit, but it's good to have a refresher because I don't think it's that intuitive. No
sure, it's a 2-part show, 45 minutes each part. So it's $8 for the whole show. It's $4 for 45 minutes. That's less than $1 an hour. $1 every 10 minutes, I should say. That's very good.
You know how there's situations where you often pay $1 every 10 minutes.
It's like, I don't know.
Very similar.
It went well. So the first half of the improv of the Rookie League show is a traditional kind of theater sports format where teams of 3 improvisers each go head to head. They just each play a game, and the audience, 3 judges in the audience vote with a number from 1 to 5. Right? 5 being an amazing scene, 1 being better luck next time. Right? So the audience decides who gets the most points, and at the end, one team wins. But of course, really doesn't matter who wins. The team who wins doesn't get anything, but they just get to enjoy the fact that they won. But really, you get entertainment from both sides. And the enjoyment is like in kind of judging I threw up air quotes there, and kind of judging the performance. So I was up in the second half last week, and the second half is the long form. And we just played a couple of improv games. And then we did something called the domino, where we get items from the people in the audience, and they give it to us, and we lay them out in the front of the stage. And there's a spotlight that comes up, and you go out and grab an item, and you make up a monologue and about it, or something surrounding it, or something inspired by it. It's just it's basically our ask fors.
Right.
It's in these little things. The ask for is like, give us some items, and then we'll make something up based on that. So someone comes out, does their monologue, and then someone else comes in and puts them in a place and gives them a relationship with somebody else. So we did that for about 20, 25 minutes or so. and then that was it. So I think I did okay. I could have had better attack. I could have been a little bit more aggressive, but I was probably a little still, googly eyed for it being my first show. But it was good. I had some people from work show up. That was nice. I had some friend of the show showed up, checked it out. It was very nice. I was up again last night for the first half. That's the theater sports half. Oh, it went so much better. It was amazing. Can't even tell you.
There we go.
It was incredible. But I did watch the Improv After Dark show on Friday. And, oh, shit. I mean...
Will's dealing with some... I don't know if it's technical. Probably just some personal difficulties.
He's... no, because...
it's the kitten again. There we go.
Yeah, it would have been technical.
Yeah, definitely.
But he was down there with on the power bar.
Oh, yeah. That's a risk.
I know. Well, you shouldn't be down there. So the only place I don't like him going is behind the TV because it's the power bar behind the TV. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know where it is, don't you? I don't like him going behind the power bar. I know. Can I finish, please? I don't like him going behind the power bar of the TV because he, I'm afraid he'll give himself a little shock. I'm not worried about the cords being ruined. I'm okay.
He's got a very good kind of kind of cry there.
Very ocarina-ish, right?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm going to go to some sort of Song of Storms or something.
Yeah. No, I don't want to shock himself for chewing out his cords, but actually one of my fellow rookies was telling me that he had a kitten who would, he's like, make sure he doesn't chew on the cables because he had a kitten that chewed on cables and he lost $400 in cables. Well, he had the crazy.
I thought you said in cats.
In cats.
It's $400 in cats.
There's more cats that way. No, they chewed up they chewed up the cords, and he said he recommended rubbing fixed vapor rub on them.
Oh yeah, something like that. I remember we had something. I feel like we had something like that at the house, like vinegar or something. That we used growing up for that cats didn't like.
So growing up, we had the first cat. I think Ginger was around when I was, a baby. Yeah,
I remember Ginger a little bit, less because of actual.
Well, I gotta ask the parents for a photo of her because we didn't take a lot of photos. I mean, I already have about 9,000 photos of little Mick here.
Yeah,
and probably 5,000 photos of Sadie too. But we didn't take a lot of photos back in the day. So there's some photos of Ginger, some photos of Snowball, but not a lot. More so the photos of the dogs because they like taking pictures of the dogs. But yeah, we had Ginger. What I remember about Ginger was that she was a big fat cat, and I didn't mess with her too much because she had claws, big sharp claws. She was a big kitty, but she would sleep on my head at night. Remember that? Yeah. She'd sleep on my pillow on my head, which I thought was really adorable. And then for my birthday in grade 7, so how old was I in grade 7? That would have been 97. I would have been 13.
That sounds about right.
13th birthday, I wanted a cat, and we went to the pet store. I know, people, this is a different time. And I wanted a calico. There was a calico cat there, and a calico is the white cat with the orange and black spots. I mean, you can Google search and look them up, calico. But then this little guy poked his head out of a basket, and he was a white cat. Excuse you. He was a white cat with an ashy spot on his forehead.
Yeah,
it was like he just left Ash Wednesday mass, right? It was
exactly. Very faithful cat
on his head, and I was like, oh, I want that guy, and Mom's like, all right, I thought you wanted the calico, but sure. So sure enough, I picked the psycho. And there's one picture of me holding him on the front porch. Just me holding him in my hand. Not too many more pictures of him existed after that. So he'd try to get in that hole under the cupboard.
Yeah.
That's where he would try to get. And he got up in the vents in the basement.
Yep.
I don't know how he got up there.
He was very good at climbing. Really,
this little guy's good at climbing too. So yeah. I mean, thankfully we don't have a basement or any vents or anything. But yeah, Snowball would he would go. Stop chewing on that. He would. Sorry, the pauses are just because I know Matt can see it.
Yes.
But no, you can't.
I'm trying to kind of fill. I'm trying to fill it a little bit, but the cat, Will is Kitty's going right for the earbuds Will's using to listen to the recording here.
Hey, these are $35 headphones. Okay, they're very expensive.
$35.
$35 for $35 headphones. I don't expect you to be chewing on them all the time. Yeah, so Snowball would climb up in the vents, like you'd hear him in the ceiling.
Yeah.
He was a crazy person. I don't know how well him and Ginger got along. I'm gonna, err on the side of not well, because
why would Ginger get along with that psycho?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Like he's not really giving her a lot of reason to get along with her. So she, we had them, and they both ran away, like weeks apart. I think Snowball ran away first, and then she ran away. And by ran away, I mean, let's face it, most likely run over.
Well, Mom has a different theory on that.
Oh, I want to hear.
Yeah, like the thought was, you could get a kind of poison you put in your garden, so that if a cat like tries to eat at it or mess with it or pee in it or something like that, it gets poisoned and it dies. So that's what Mom's theory was on it. Now, I was going to mention
kitty poisoning. I didn't know.
There might be like you might just be able to put bleach on it or something. It might be something you kind of have to rig up at home, like a terrorist. So if anybody out there is, there's a cat, they were a problem cat in their neighborhood causing issues with your garden, just remember, if you are planning to poison that cat, you are working with the same kind of brain as a terrorist.
That's right.
So I want you to consider that. Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Do you like being a terrorist?
Do you like it?
Right?
I
have encountered a white supremacist, kind of, via the internet. Didn't love that.
Yeah.
Throwback to last week.
Ian was telling me about this documentary. Crap. And I wanted to watch it before this show, but I didn't have time to watch anything because I've been taking care of little kidders. But I think it's on Netflix. It's a documentary about this town, and this guy starts buying up all the houses in town, like a really small town.
Okay.
And they do some research on him, and they're like, oh, he used to be the Grand Wizard, I think, the Grand Dragon, or whatever they call him. I don't respect them enough to know what the titles are. I mean, obviously.
I'm very intrigued by this, though. This already sounds like kind of like a...
But he used to be the Grand Wizard of the KKK, and he wanted to make a white supremacist town. And, like, all these old dudes, like, would start moving into the town and be just a white supremacist town. Ugh. A town which apparently at the time had, like, one black guy in it. So, when Ian told me about it, he was halfway through the documentary. Because it would have to be a documentary, because like if you scripted that for a movie, it'd be like too terrible to exist. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Who'd want to be in that movie? Well, Nick Cage, I guess. Now that I say, how am I not in this movie?
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about kittens and movies and everything like that. Do you remember the movie that Mom and Dad took us to after Ginger left to try to take our minds off of it?
Was it Homeward Bound 2?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was summer 1996. The film
was it Men in Black?
The film was Men in Black. Now, Will, do you remember why it's ironic that Mom and Dad took us to Men in Black to try to take our minds off the fact that our cat left?
Because there's a cat in that movie.
A very prominent cat in that movie.
Yeah, Orion.
A cat who's essentially, like a MacGuffin.
Yeah, well, it's Orion. Well, it's Orion's belt.
Exactly. Well,
spoiler alert for Men in Black, by the way.
Yes, spoiler alert for movies from 20 years ago. From essentially, we're still thinking about a cat that we had 20 years ago, which is makes me feel old that I can even think about that.
Well, because the cat we've had since then, since that cat, we got 2 dogs and a cat, and they're all gone too. But at least Truffles, we had Truff for a long time. Truffles we have a bunch of photos of, particularly when I would go home at Christmas time and take lots of pictures of her. She was kind of like a little lump, though. She didn't really do a whole lot. I wasn't very nice to her as a kid. I know that. Being nice to this
she
guy.
liked you, though. She liked you most.
She liked me most, yeah. I liked her most. I'd play with her and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of choke-slammed her a little bit, was the move?
See, it wasn't I maintain that it's not a choke slam because I didn't grab her by the neck. I grabbed her by her little ribbies.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd like pick her up by her little ribby and slam her on a bed. Like it was pretty. Pardon me. It was pretty soft. Please bleep that S-bomb earlier. By the way, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to lose my perfect language record.
your land speed language record.
They should appreciate why I did that. Though. I was worried about little
yes,
Johnny here.
there was some Smithers concern.
Yes. Now you asked me about Smithers, and there was some times where I called Sadie Smithers because we named the cat Truffles because it was a little tortoiseshell colored cat. She, chocolatey and caramely, and
yes, exactly.
Like she was very, looked delicious. I took a couple nibbles, but I would call her Smithers just out of I don't know, out of being an idiot. And
it's a silly pet nickname, literally a pet nickname,
literally a pet nickname. So I'd call her Smithers, and there's some times I would call Sadie Smithers, but I caught myself because I'm like, no, tis but only one Smithers in the world. So little Mick and Sadie are going to be little Mick and Sadie. Oh, little Mick's falling asleep. You falling asleep? Yeah, he's falling asleep. Good. Yeah, good. Remember, Big Daddy was like, kids are great when they're not running around or talking.
That was a sad movie.
Yeah, I rewatched it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you really?
Ian did. I think it was like his last okay movie was that one, and then it went downhill. I'd say, but don't take my word for it. I like that Sadie. She's kind of looking out the window. She's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, cats and other animals are just kind of fine with just being there. I had this realization this weekend when, on a beautiful Saturday, on the Victoria Day weekend, I walked around Halifax with my wife. And
wonderful. Yeah, your pet, your wife, right?
No. Okay, I'm getting there somewhere else. Dummy. We went to the public gardens, and the geese were there. And we watched them for like 5 minutes. They spent 4 minutes and 30 seconds of that doing their weird preening thing where they use their nose to get oils from under their feathers and put them everywhere else. So they is that
the technique? Now, were you Googling this at the time? Be like,
were you Googling this at the time? Yeah.
So it was near there, Stuart. You were. So you knew this already?
Yeah. We'd seen the geese before. Emily is a bit of a knowledgeable biological person.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I got a couple pictures of the goose doing something that wasn't just kind of. The crazy thing is, if you haven't spent a lot of time around geese, their necks are like super long.
Yes, they are,
and they can rotate them like gyroscopically and like corkscrew
Exorcist
movements.
style.
It's very strange. I was when I saw this, I said to Emily, I was like, "It's weird that animal uses its head like an appendage because I don't like humans just gotta try to keep their head in good condition. Like it's rare that
we don't do anything with it.
No, like you can bite things to open things up with your mouth, but beyond that, we have our hands and we have our mind, which we protect. But geese are like, I'm going to use my stupid head to get something.
Yeah, dogs do that too. Dogs do everything with their mouths.
Yes, that's true. That's all
and cats kind of do in a way. Cats, I think, paw at things more, but
yeah,
but you don't really see a dog pawing. You see him kind of doing that sometimes. He's passed out. But yeah, they do everything with their with their heads, which I think is odd. They they'll carry things in their mouths. That's why dogs' mouths are cleaner than a human's mouth, apparently, because it's got all sorts of bacteria killing stuff in the saliva. Just because dogs do everything with their mouth, so they got to really protect themselves from germs. That's why I never see a dog with a cold. You never see a dog with the sniffles.
How would a dog express a cold anyway?
Cough, I guess.
I guess.
Sneeze. Well, dogs sneeze sometimes. Should we talk? Do we talk about the pet? Should we talk about the dogs?
What do you want to say about the dogs?
Well, it was just a big change for us when we got the dogs.
That's true. Yes, that's true. It was 2000, October 2000, when we got Teddy. I came home from school. So I was in grade 6 at the time, and I was leaving the house at lunch, and just as I was leaving, the phone rang. So I went back in, answered the phone, and it was like mom or dad, and they were like, just calling to see if you've left yet. And I was like, yeah, I was just on my way out the door. I hung up and I left. And I realize now, like, they never do that. That's a weird thing to do. But it was their way of being like, we have a dog. We want to bring it home. We don't want the dog. We have to see the dog that day instead of, at lunchtime. It'd be distracting.
Yeah, because you'd have to go. You go home for lunch, then go back to school.
And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have a dog this whole time.
If you were home at lunch and you had a dog, you would not go back to school. You'd be like, I just want to play with
doggy.
doggy.
I'd just be a little.
No, they'd make you go back to
it'd be tough. I was a good kid though. I always did anyway.
He was a good kid and humble too.
Very humble. So I remember I came home from school, and instead, like, Mom was just sitting on the porch, which is not common, and she just had this little blonde dog, and we had gone and seen the dogs because it was we got the dog from one of Mom's coworkers who lived in a rural setting in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
And we went to like visit them, and we saw the dogs, and we were like, oh my gosh, we wish we could have one. And they're like, well, they're all spoken for, which is like a funny way of keeping it hidden that what we had spoken for one of them.
Of course, right? But they're all they're all spoken for, which is great. Just be like, okay, well, we went there, we played with the doggies, it was fine. That was one of those crazy, because didn't they have chickens and like cats and stuff too? Like that was a very there was a wild house, no pun intended.
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of a barn kind of situation.
It was very barn-like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So Mom had this dog, and I was like, so what's the story with this dog?
Oh, when he was on the porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, this dog was familiar. I've seen this dog before.
And it was Teddy. It was all very exciting. I feel like you were a little bit reluctant because you like the cat.
I tried to not like him, but he was pretty much impossible.
Yeah, he went at that age. He used to, instead of like walking like a normal, like just one foot in front of the other, he used to put his legs up really high.
He would like kind of prance a little bit.
Yeah.
He was he was a little schnookums, and he was great all through his life. Actually, he was the friendliest little dude. I remember that day. So 2000, I was in grade 10, I would imagine. So I think I like went to school, and then I went to the gym after. And I called Dad to pick me up, and he picked me up, drove me home, and I came home. The kitchen was all kind of blocked off, and I saw a little buddy in there, and I'm like, whose dog is that? And they're like, it's ours. I was like, what? It was just so crazy to me that we would have a dog, because we were always a cat house.
Right.
And a dog is like a big change, and it was a big change. Like, you had to, take him out to have a wee-wee. Or a poo-poo.
They're a little bit more needy, too, in terms of, like, what
he was way louder. Yeah. I remember the first night we had him, we kept him in the bathroom downstairs, and he howled all night. And I was like, why didn't I just, like, bring him in my room and, like, schnook him, cuddle with him? But the thing with dogs, too, is, like, they would constantly, like, be chewing, especially the next dog we have, which was Tess, which we got 3 years later, which is from the same parents as Teddy, but a different litter. So we got Tess years later, but, like, the thing about dogs is, like, they'll grab stuff that you don't think they grabbed. For instance, stuff from the cat's litter box. They went in there to grab, I remember the vet saying, oh yeah, the stuff from the litter box is like little Hershey bars to them. I'm like, oh God, that's disgusting.
It is a very gross way of thinking about it.
But dogs, like, I guess that's why they got the bacteria killing saliva. Like they'll crawl into those, places. Like I can't remember all the stuff Teddy got into, but he would chew up about. We'd constantly find stuff, and even Tess, even like later on in her life too, we'd find messes downstairs that she would, you know what I mean? She was a bit loopy.
Yeah, it was too much. It just shouldn't have happened.
You don't think the second dog should have happened?
No. I'm just saying, like, she should have been better than that.
She should have been better than that. Yeah, Tess loved Mom and kind of really couldn't give a toss about anybody else. But Mom would come home and Tess would have like one of my favorite words, conniption. Yes. You'd have a conniption fit every time Mom came home and make a little mess on the floor.
She would always make a mess on the floor, but
she would sometimes.
She would sometimes, but there was definitely an excitement there.
Because the dog would totally bust you if you didn't take her out, right? Like if the dog made a mess, right? She's like,
sometimes the dogs, you take them out and they'd be like, "Here, I'm out now," and they would just be like, "Not interested."
Yeah,
which is frustrating.
So they were little what do you call them? A Pomapoo, like little Pomeranian poodle mixes.
Yeah, but we never called them that because it's kind of silly.
It's kind of silly.
We just call them Pomeranians. They look Pomeranian. They were a little bit taller, I guess, because their legs are a bit longer.
Yes, like I see real Pomeranians in town. They make me laugh. If I get a dog one day, it might be a Pom. I wanted to get a pug, but people say they're very pugs.
Sorry, Pomeranians. I was still commenting on how great Pomeranians are.
Well, yes, some of them are. They sit there so with this big plumage, but they're also like little like little yappers.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about getting a pug too, but apparently they're very inbred, and they have like health problems like throughout their lives.
Yeah. The issue too is that there's some breeds of dogs. Like I remember, when I worked at the hotel, there was a lady who brought in this dog, and it was just kind of a perfect dog. And I was like, "What is this dog? Like, it's great." And she was like, "Well, it's a King Charles Spaniel." I think I said that right.
King Charles Spaniel.
King Charles Spaniel.
Right.
So if you Google them, they're beautiful dogs. But because they're all the same breed, they have the same problem, which is, or maybe it's Cavalier, actually. Pardon me. King Charles Cavalier, I think is what it's called. I'm just looking it up now.
Sounds like a car.
I know. But yeah, seriously, Google it. They all have heart problems. Or they all have, maybe it's not heart problems, but they all have the exact same health issues.
Okay.
So they have to have surgery or treatment. It's just what happens. You can't get one that doesn't because that is genetic in them now.
Yeah.
Where they all have that. Because if you have a crossbreed, there's opportunity for that to exit out. But if you have a purebred, that's always going to happen. I think bulldogs have similar issues. I have friends that have like an English bulldog. I don't think he has any health issues, but he is great. He looks like a walking beer keg.
King Charles Cavalier. Yeah. Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's a large. I think there's people in Halifax that breed them specifically. I think that's like a whole thing.
King Charles Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Speaking of the King James Cavaliers, yeah, that's serious. But just talking quickly about the series, my metaphor for that series is totally paying off because everyone was very happy when the Raptors made it to the conference finals. It's like, it's great. It's great for the city. It's great for the team to make it that far. It's wonderful. Doesn't matter because either way, they're pretty much poached. Either you gotta face King James, and if you manage to get past him, you gotta face either the 73 game winning Golden State Warriors or the team that knocked them off, the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's like there is no situation where the Raptors win the NBA championship here,
right?
Which is okay because the farther your team makes it into the playoffs, the better it is for your city, for your team. The playoffs are all gravy. Right? Because the teams just make money from the playoffs.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's all just money in the bank at that point.
That's what I'd say. I also want to say I didn't see the game I don't remember the game on Sunday, but
right.
I did.
Okay.
I did go out and watch the game on Friday, and valiant comeback by the Penguins. Even in a losing effort, I think that showed me that they're going to win this series.
I hope so. I mean, it is 2-2, so it's like 3 games isn't a lot of space for. There's a lot of randomness that can still happen in 3 games. I did feel good about. Well, it's funny. Like you watch that. Like when I watched the game on Friday night too, I was also optimistic about. Sorry, yeah, I don't know what the current score is, because this is Saturday. But
hey, man,
I know it's crazy. It was. You watch a game, and you're like, it's 4-0. It does not feel like a 4-0 game. Penalties, power plays, they can change a game, of course. But they came back. They rallied.
Yeah,
I did the great thing. You're watching, and like the seconds are ticking by, and right when the game ends, you like turn off your TV or close your laptop immediately because you're like, well, they're not going to go back and change it. It's over. Just immediately close it once the 0 hits. You're like, forget this. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My analogy was it doesn't matter if Oberyn wins, he's still got to face the mountain. Sorry, it's a Game of Thrones reference, and that's the reference I meant in regards to the Raptors series.
Right. When you said Oberon, I was like, oh, is that a Planet of the Apes 2001 reference from the Tim Burton movie?
Was there an Oberon in that?
I believe Oberon was the name of the space station. I might be wrong.
Oh, okay.
No one will correct me, or no.
I mean, IMDb.
Oh, I was right.
So no one has to correct you or no, because you did.
Yes, exactly.
You just burp over there? What did you do?
No.
Okay.
Anyway,
you just spat. You just have your spittoon there.
Yes.
Matt's got a big dip of tobacco in his mouth.
I try to chew
now.
as often as I can for the podcast.
As I can.
I'm a chewer.
Gives me a nice gravelly voice.
Choose me.
You choose me.
Yeah. Well, are you missing Alex? I mean, you're not really gonna miss him because he's gonna be in Toronto. It's no different to you, but that's a whole thing.
I'm missing him on the show. I mean, I'm outrageously happy for him that he's going.
Outrageously happy.
No, I am very proud of him.
He's just moving to Toronto. Will it's not like he's.
Yeah, but it's a big step for him.
It is a big step.
Big step for little guy, right? Maybe if I talk to him, if I talk about him like that, I would be so mad.
Oh, he would be. That seems a little bit.
Little brother. He's clenching his fists right now. They're getting all veiny. Little brother going to Toronto. It's good. I think it's good. I'm missing him on the show. Sure. He'll have a triumphant comeback hopefully at some point.
Yes, definitely.
But if not, we understand. We're all busy people in our lives.
Oh, certainly.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah. No, we are. We're all busy folk. So I am missing him, but I think he's gonna have a great time out there.
Definitely.
I'd like to, and this summer if I can. I'd like to go out and visit.
Yeah, just him or us too.
Well, I might have to keep you guys just for the just for Christmas.
Oh, that's fine.
But that all depends on job. Like if I get jobs and time off and that sort of thing. Right now, I'm eking by, so it's all good.
You're not going to get jobs because that movie came out in September, Will.
Oh, yeah, it did.
I'm so glad I can make that joke with you. You're like one of the only people I can because you're in the industry.
That's right.
Yes. Anyway,
I know.
Let me know when you go to Toronto. Maybe I'll go.
Yeah, and we'll all crash on Alex's couch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Alex would love to hear us all doing that.
Crashing on his couch. Well, I'm going to have some party crashers here in a couple of weeks too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you already got kitties running around. I'm going to have the folks running around here.
What month?
Mom and Dad just skittering around.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be doing the podcast. They'll be crawling over the bed, mewing at you.
Oh, he's sleeping. Oh, look at him. Look at him. You'll hear his snoring. They come. What day is it? This is Monday. This is Victoria Day, the 23rd. By the way, what Queen Victoria? How many Queen Victorias were there, and which one was your favorite? Was there just one, or am I totally off my rocker? Maybe I'm thinking of the multiple Elizabeths. How well do you know your British monarchy?
Not very. I find it kind of boring.
Yeah, me neither. Oh yeah, I brought up earlier, earlier in the show, that you were telling me about the Borgia.
Yes, yeah.
Who are scandalous popes.
Yes, the family who was they found their way into the church's higher echelons, and they did all sorts of things. They pretty much destroyed the reputation of the church, and it was a big problem.
Oh, okay, so maybe you don't like the name Micheletto. Then is that what you're saying?
I think it's funny that somebody named them after the Borgias. I mean, it's like naming somebody. It's like naming cats after. The only example I could think of was like.
You gonna say Nazis?
Yeah, like the members of like the Third Reich or something. Like this is little Goring or whatever.
Yeah, this is little Himmler. Yeah,
no, I think adorable. Obviously if you name kittens after Nazis, you're probably a pretty messed up person.
I think they just named it after the Borgias because they had like 8 of them. So they're like, there's 8 Borgias.
I mean, it was a generation of family. Like, it was multiple generations, so...
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that makes sense. But yeah, sure. Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, he's also a kitten and has no idea what that is or...
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the cat's probably fine. Yes, we're all good for the cat. That's fair to assume.
The cat's name doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently Sadie is short for Mercedes, and she's named after a character in a book. I didn't ask what book, though. I should find that out. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were thinking of Simba for this guy. He does look like a little lion. He's got the little coat, and he's got like the big yellow eyes. Doesn't he? Oh, you're going after... Oh, he's up now. Oh, my goodness.
Cat's awake now.
Yeah, he's always purring.
Folks, if you can listen to this podcast, and if you can have a kitten on your lap at the same time too, you get the immersive effect of what's happening.
It'll be the simulator.
And if some of you watching can just kind of listening rather can just watch the person with the cat, you're feeling the me experience.
I think with these cats, we have to unveil the video podcast of the Triple Threat podcast.
Oh yes, that would be very interesting. They'll see
that'd be so much more memory on your phone.
My creamsicle shirt. Yeah, I'd be like, depending.
I was wondering why I was so hungry without looking at you, man.
Yeah, it's true. I'm also wearing a steak cologne.
Steak cologne?
Yeah, which I think is probably giving off some visual effects or some sort of
waves.
Wait, are you?
Waves going off.
Well, would you look at me and do I look like I'm just like a talking chicken wing? Is that what you're seeing right now, like a drumstick?
That's all I see is a drumstick.
Because I'm seeing dollar signs in your eyes right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dollar signs. Yeah. I got my tongue hanging out and a bunch of water dripping from it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Will, do you have $300,000 by any chance?
I actually spent it on this cat.
Okay, sure.
He's very expensive. Do you need help, man? Do you need
some
help?
No, I'm fine. Captain America just needs $300,000 this weekend to make $1 billion worldwide, though. They're at $999 million.
Isn't that fun? Is it like you want to see it like on the speedometer? Like you want to see the thing turn out?
I want to see the guy who pays the billionth dollar ticket.
What would he win? He wins like a little plastic shield.
He would get a free. He'd get his ticket for free, and then it would go back down again. They would kind of get trapped at like a 1 billion thing.
Like, here you go. Oh, we lost money.
Oh, we lost it. Oh, give me this back.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show. I know you saw it some weeks ago. I don't know how well you remember it.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to discuss it, I mean, it's all right, man. What do you think of Civil War?
What did I think of Civil War? I liked it.
Yeah.
I remember I was sitting in the theater with my friend Paul, and before the movie started, I just said, "Dude, Spider-Man's in this movie. That's awesome!" Like I was just thinking, I was like so excited for like another good Spider-Man depiction.
Yeah.
So I was excited. I had no idea where it was going. Like it's one of those movies you're just kind of like, I don't know, like it could go anywhere. It's not like I have a good sense of like what the sequel's going to be.
Sure.
So
you also didn't read any spoilers or anything.
Nothing. Yeah,
you went in pretty clean.
Nothing really. Yeah, exactly. Like I knew I had a pretty good sense of who was on what team and.
Sure. Yeah. Because all the ads had like that showdown at the airport where just the line of them.
Yes.
You're like, all right, there's people and these
which
people.
They edited for the trailers, for the spots, because Spider-Man is in that lineup, but not in the movie.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Which is good.
That's cool.
It's good editing.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the movie. That airport scene is kind of the crown jewel of that movie.
It was so incredible.
So good.
It was so awesome, man. It was great. I watched it with Andy Hanlon. He's a friend of the show. Mm-hmm. And when it finished, he was just like, "That was a big movie." Like, and it was. It was like, I think it's like it came in at 2:30. And it was felt way breezier than everyone's going to make the comparison to Batman v Superman, but I don't think you can compare them just because this movie has so many characters already established, and Batman v Superman has to in a way reestablish Batman. They have a new Batman. Right. But this one was it was very much a Captain America movie. It dealt with him and Bucky, and Tony was very much involved in all that too. Very involved in it. If once you find out how they're connected later on, which was a trip. I didn't see that coming. I felt like Quicksilver. I was like, you didn't see that coming? But yeah, I thought it was like the best opening sequence they've done, which is that chase to like the market. Just the action, like it was. Oh no, I get to say this actually. Yeah. My review of Captain America: Civil War. It's the punchinest, kickingest, superhero-iest, marvelous movie they've made, because like there's so much. Ian sat next to this young lady, who every time someone got punched, she'd go, "Oh no!" Which, if you see that movie, there's a lot of punches being thrown.
Definitely, it's like
the action's the action's shot so well. I just think it's just such a nice, clean look. Like the Captain America look is just such a nice, clean look. One part that was awesome that's in a trailer that I thought was really cool, and also like, maybe stressing this a little bit, is when Cap is holding down the helicopter.
Yes, awesome. Just
because it was awesome to see him, like, because like so many times in my seat I was just like flexing. I was like, get him. But also he's trying to hold down the helicopter, which the super strength thing I have no problem with. He's got super soldier serum. It's all good. But the thing is, a helicopter is heavier than a man. So if a helicopter is trying to take off and a man is on the ground just trying to pull it down, I think the helicopter would take off. Wouldn't you think?
I think,
or is it just irrelevant and it's a comic book movie and get over it? I was actually thinking you'd take umbrage with it.
That I would?
Yeah, I thought
I don't nitpick. I mean, I take for granted in a Captain America movie that Captain America's going to do some Captain America things in it.
Sure.
I don't think it's a matter of how heavy he is. I think it's a matter of how much force he's exerting.
Okay,
like right, because he's grabbing something towards him. I mean, the guy jumps out of a plane without a parachute to land. Like that's a thing he just does.
Does he land in a roll? It was awesome.
Yeah, that happens multiple times in multiple movies.
Yeah.
So I don't take any issue with that. It's one of those things that's awesome because it's a cool character moment because you're like, he really wants that helicopter. And it also gives you that man in it. It gives you that kind of that superhero moment too of like, dude, that guy just grabbed a helicopter and it wasn't stupid because you know him and you think, oh, that guy's cool. He knows what he's capable.
Well, I mean, yeah, when he's got like when he's holding the helicopter with one arm and grabbing onto the platform with another and just flexing, I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, it's so cool.
I thought it was so cool. There's also one cool moment. There's a fight in a stairwell, and Cap is fighting along with somebody who's killing people, and Cap's like, no, we'll put him down nice and easy. It's all good. These guys are the police. There's one moment where Cap leaps over the banister, and the soundtrack just goes beep beep, like it gives the tiniest little trumpet noise. That was kind of hilarious. Yeah. Just like Cap like does this little leap, it's like beep beep. But everybody who comes in to play their part plays it so well. It's cool to see Vision just chilling out in a sweater and slacks.
That I couldn't really reconcile. I was like, I had recently come to like Vision more from watching the second Avengers movie, Ultron, I guess, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
More. I was like, you know what? I'm amenable to Vision now. And in the movie, I was kind of like, well, I didn't really remember that he could just kind of teleport, which also is kind of like
he's got powers that aren't very
they're vague. They're undefined.
They aren't very well yes, you're right. They aren't very well defined. Like he's able to like go between robots in Ultron and kind of tear them in two, and he can also shoot like a mind beam. But he had a cool thing in Civil War where he's talking about the mind gem. He's like, I don't know what this is.
It's a cool character moment. I don't like that he just seems overpowered. It's not really that interesting to be like, well, how would any side lose with him on it? He's like,
sure, he's the LeBron James. It doesn't matter whose side he's on. Whatever side he's on is going to win.
He should win. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah, because he's made out of vibranium. But you can see what's going to happen to him in the Infinity War, though, right? Because that gauntlet's going to have all the gems on it. So you think, I really don't think this kid's making it out alive.
You think he just dies? They just pull it. I mean, does he need to have the gem to live? Was that part of it?
Yes, okay. I think so. I think if he loses the gem, he doesn't exist. That's just me. I mean, I'm sure there's something in the comics that say something, but I'm enjoying these movies as films. They're movies. When they come out. Yes, everyone played their role real well. Ant-Man was awesome in his small part.
Definitely.
Spider-Man was great. Everyone says that he's one of the best parts of the movie. He was awesome. I thought
Spider-Man's awesome. Oh yeah, I love that. There's just a moment. There's just a section of the movie that's just like, and now we're Spider-Man, and that's great.
Yeah,
we're all down for that.
It was a great way to reintroduce the character, and he did a lot of did a lot of cool stuff. And little Tom Holland was awesome too.
Oh, he was great.
That kid was a great Peter Parker. It was a great Peter Parker who had like, he's like, oh man, I've had a great day. I aced my algebra test. He's dumpster diving. I'm like, there he is. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah, that totally fits.
I thought Black Panther was cool. The only thing about Black Panther was like when he's out of the suit, he's still like super fast. And I was wondering if it was like the rings that give him power or something like that. That wasn't explained. As far as I'm concerned, but right. I thought Black Panther was really cool. I thought that guy was awesome.
Yeah, there's a certain element to Black Panther, and they can totally do this in the future, where like they don't really need to explain too much about. Like we live in a world with superheroes in the Marvel movies, so if a guy's a superhero, it's just like
he's a superhero.
Yeah, like that's fine.
So you're cool on that side, okay?
I think it's fine. I don't feel like I would live in a better place in a better world if there was 5 minutes where he was like, when I was a kid, I came across a Black Panther in the alley, but it stood up on its hind legs and it talked to me and it gave me the power to be like.
You don't need the origin story.
No, that's fine. Someone said online, they were like, I bet they'll do a prequel that will explain it. I kind of hope they don't. I
I don't want to. I don't want
a prequel. It's fine. I mean, just have a sequel. You get a flashbacks. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, prequels I don't like because you know what's going to happen to the character. It's like, well, it'll be fine because he comes back in this movie.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's So
yeah, that wouldn't be as much fun.
The Black Panther movie, as I pet this little panther right here. The Black Panther movie is directed by the Creed guy. I think Michael B. Jordan's going to be in it as well. It looks like it has a sweet cast.
I don't know if that got confirmed at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard it.
Could be, sure. It seemed too good to be true, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think the Black Panther movie is going to be awesome because I think that character is sweet. Yeah, you're right. Like these Marvel movies, like all the people who show down at the airport are just all enhanced people. Actually, my favorite is when Hawkeye shows up, and he's one of the only people who's not enhanced in any way. And he starts to get into a fight, and he's like, "Oh, I knew I should have stretched today," because it's like, yeah, you're just a guy who's in shape and can fight, but yeah, you need to stretch and warm up. You imagine Captain America doesn't really need to work out, even though I think he does. But he just has these powers. Iron Man doesn't really need to work out. He's got his suits.
Yeah.
Exactly. But hey, go see Captain America: Civil War. Of course, you don't have to take our word for it because everyone's going to see it anyway. What's that? Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay. Well, I got to take little Mick to go see Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
You imagine if somebody has like babies in the theater, someone's just like, you're in the movie theater, just the movie's on, and just all of a sudden you're like, woof, like movie theater.
No, it's a bird.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was R2. Sorry.
Interesting.
You can bring BB-8 to go see Star Wars: The Four Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Anything else, Matt? Anything else you want to say? We talk a little basketball, a little hockey.
Yeah.
Congrats to Canada for making it to the gold medal game, by the way, in the World Championship.
Yes.
Is that game on tonight?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
assumed
follow
it was
it?
yesterday, Sunday. I'm not sure, though.
No, because they just beat the U.S. on Saturday.
It's not crazy to think they would have a tournament and do another one.
The next day? Maybe the gold medal game was yesterday. I don't remember. I had a show, man. I couldn't have.
Right.
What's
the guy
couldn't watch
supposed to
stuff if I wanted to. What's the guy supposed to do? Right? Come on.
Yeah.
Give a guy a break. Yeah, man. I talk a lot about kitties and doggies, but I'll probably do it again next week, depending on who's around.
Yeah, exactly. See if anyone could stop you from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Oh, buddy.
Gold medal game is tomorrow. Gosh, Sunday. It was last night. Congratulations, winner. Hopefully, it was Canada.
Hopefully, it was, but they got crushed by Finland. They were the only loss in the tournament. They got beat 4-0 by them, I think.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's not great, no. But it's
I mean, Canada beat Sweden 6-0. It's a different game, different time. Great potential. Great possibilities. And I hope you had a great long weekend, everybody. Thanks for ending it with us. Or whenever you listen to this.
Or whenever you listen to this. I mean, if it's Monday, maybe you have a barbecue tonight, or maybe you're like me and you don't get Mondays off and you have to go to your job.
Yeah, enjoy that.
Which is all good. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at William C. Vaughn. I realized last week when I was signed off on my side of the show that I didn't give my Twitter handle.
Oh.
Lost a lot of followers there, Matt. I lost a lot of followers.
People who only follow you as long as that comes up?
That's right, yeah.
Interesting.
Lost a lot of followers last week. But yeah, I'm at William C. Vaughn on Twitter.
Cool. I'm at MP Vaughn on Twitter. Alex is at Evonix. You can figure that out.
EVAUGHNICSP and a QRT and a WWE. So hopefully you'll see some updates from Alex when he's doing a little trippy to the big smoke, Hog City. Hey, we'll be back next week with more show. We'll talk about some kitties some more. Matt is grooving to something. Always grooving to the extra music. Intro? Yeah, he's really
doing the Running
down.
Man challenge to it.
Oh, the Running Man challenge. Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about next week. We'll talk more about the Running Man challenge.
Yeah, I'm clearly doing it. You can just imagine me doing it with my fleet footwork.
Yeah. I can't see it. I can see his hands. He looks like he's taking 2 phone calls at the same time, and he can't decide which one he wants to take. He's like,
kind of just shaking them both.
Which one? Oh, no, can't. Hey, wait, you? Oh.
Yeah.
And then, his feet are just going like, crazy underneath the desk.
Oh, and one last thing before I go, I just want to say.
This is really important.
If you are the guy
who
sold me a dubstep license.
Yes.
Turn around, I'm behind you, I'm coming at you.
Yes.
You're getting it right now.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
That's a great book ending, by the way. It's an amazing book ending. I think it's the first time we've done that. Quality book ending here on the Triple Threat Podcast. I'd say I'd ask Micheletto to say goodbye, but he's asleep. No, buddy. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening and putting up with our cats and dubstepping and fleet footwork. Good night, Canada.
Watch out.